Welcome. This is Crime Queen. This is where we get excited about love. This is where we get ignited for the crimson light, that which dwells from within us and comes alive, that which gives us life, that which is ignited within us, and we say the crimson light is life. Now, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, the Crimson Light is really my journey through actualizing self-full love through the book, the Crimson Light, uh, Volume 1 and 2 by Crimey Queen. So, of course, I am doing this series based on my journey of self-full love. Self-full love, as I've said, is that I felt through spirit that I needed something to identify with because what seemed like self love didn't seem to resonate so much with me in its definition, not just its definition, what I was relating to. So, spirit really helped me to find something that I could really identify with and call self love. Okay, because it's really becoming full and not ever feeling that you're um, replenished, diminished or depleted, but it's really that you have a way or adapted a way of constantly replenishing yourself, and so you're always full of love. Hence, I am ready to give and share what I have, or what I know, or what I am. Yes, really, what I am. I am with self love. So this series has been through the seven elders that I met through my encounter of self love, and we have done a presentation with presence, the first of the seven elders, and now it's about truth. So far, we have done the introduction to truth and the first part of recognizing truth as well. So here we are with truth. I work with numbers, numerology, and really the essence of this or the purpose of this is to find ways of using numbers with words and to recognize how we can in check words and numbers to optimize their function in our lives, in our doing, our speaking, and whatever it is. Because I feel if we are, for us to actualize self-full love, it takes a degree of reprogramming our minds and our behaviors. And so if we go with the intention of saying, okay, I wonder what number is at play for me today and what meaning it holds for me. That in itself has taken away any um, uh, connotation of negativity that might pull us down to actualizing self love. Okay, so um, on truth now. So with numbers, truth is my feather. We had a thing on feathers. So truth is six. Truth is six. And of course, truth had provided me with the main characteristics or descriptive word for truth here would be foundation. Foundation, when we done the value, the number value for foundation is a master number, like we've discovered with the name Jesus. And of course, because it's Easter, I'm doing this recording on Easter Day, hence I am wearing my red crimson. So it's with the consciousness of Jesus, which of course in a single digit is two. Okay, so but I love the idea now. I am really appreciating saying master number even more because I realize um, truth was actually or presence was working through me to be able to say I am the master of my ship. I am the master of my ship. I am the master of my ship. You might get the gist of this with another video because Spirit has equipped me to be able to say that, and to be, is that the crimson light is ignited in me. That's all it is. Okay, so found, another word, because I've done like what we did with presence, breaking down. We had attraction for presence, of course, a fitting word, and then we have found. So found, it's, what have you found? What have we found? Because I have found self-full love, what do I do with it? So when you find something and it's past tense, found, you have a responsibility to act. So what do you do with it? Hence, I am acting on what I found. I am doing these presentations, found, and that is my truth. This is truth really resonating with me. And as long as I am doing these presentations, I know that the evidence or manifestation of truth resonating with me is alive. The crimson light is alive. Okay. So, but that also comes to the number 6, which mirrors truth perfectly. Okay. And fond. Fond is 3 equals 3. Now, fond, I'm fond of really love. Okay, it may, or however this sounds, but I'm fond. You're fond. Okay, and free. It's just occurred to me, divisible by 6. So 3 twos are 6. This is wonderful. Truth is just so, because I looked at this before and I really did not quite make, I didn't see this before. But truth is just so transparent, always making herself felt, known, recognized. Truth is beautiful. Truth is transparent. Truth is giving. Truth is nurturing, healing. Truth is Truth helps us to cut through the chase. Truth gives us direction, which reminds me, I've got this presentation to do on direction. Okay, so and that's truth, because truth also says, which we'll explore more in the other presentation, I am the way, the truth, the light. So, well, that was Christ saying this. Okay, I am truth. Okay, so of course, we said, and 2 also is divisible with 6. So we have now nation. Nation equals 10 and comes to one single digit. That's interesting. Nation. Because we learn about nations, the they have been every, like Christ was the through the 14th generation, generation. The word nation is also there. Um, yes. So perhaps truth also um, shows in each generation, not perhaps, would be pinnacle in each generation. So each generation would have a foundation, a premise of truth by which they abide by, or each nation have a principle or a truth, a construct, their construct of truth by which they abide by. So hence, as I was saying, if you were to be a doctor, you would not really go study the same modules as a car mechanic. You would be occupied with biology and that sort of thing, and the mechanic would be with nuts and bolts and that sort of thing. In essence, they are both fixing, and that's their fundamental truth. And perhaps this is where we can see the polarities or the um, connectivity in that universal truth. So they're both fixing. The mechanic is fixing the car so that the car is in good shape to take you from point A to B. The doctor is fixing the patient that the patient can be mobile and healthy enough to get from point A to B, or becoming, I hope it would be A to Z rather. Um, so we can see that there are fundamental principles in these two examples. Yet still, it would seem like the two have nothing in common in their modules of what they study. So this is giving an idea, or showing us really that truth in this sense is really saying that the truth that we have, or your truth, is perhaps very true or very essential for the role you have to play in this life, for your purpose. So, like the mechanic is studying what what is necessary for the purpose or the function that he plays in society, in his life. Likewise, the doctor. So, hence one of the reasons why I really don't like to get too caught up in I have the truth, or my truth is the only truth, and that sort of thing. If we were to even take our bodies, our image, we would see very well that um, your hand is um, performing a different function to your legs, which carries you while you walk. They, yet still, they're all part of the whole. Your eyes, your senses, all the different senses, um, uh, operating differently, yet still, they are all part of the whole. And so, this is what I also think that Christ meant when he said, "Ye are members of the body." You are members of the body. If, to me, with that understanding, and this is what I look that makes, that I see that helps me to appreciate you, the tree, whatever it is, all forms of life, even more. Because all my my limbs, my legs, my eyes, because I I can't sort of value one part more than the other. Or to do that is not appreciating that we all play different roles. We don't have to go far to see how wonderful truth expresses herself in our lives, and through Christ's teachings, that we are all members of the whole. I know this was said specifically for the church um, where in Paul's teachings. And there again, it depends what we call the church. For me, church is here. Church is right here. When I meet you and you smile, we are doing church. And I smile at you, we are doing church. I acknowledge you, we are doing church. You give me a gaze in the eyes, you know there's a presence. Wherever there is presence, well, I'm doing church. And so I feel again for talking about nation, we need to recognize that as we evolve, everything seems to have, like in the scriptures, a time and purpose for everything under the sun. So it is still important for people who haven't, um, or for those who choose rather, to recognize that the church building where you go to worship, that is church, because of their function. They are also serving a function, they are also serving a purpose. So it's not to discriminate their role, and it's not to discriminate my revelation. So it's just to show the vastness of truth and the beauty of truth. But I also feel truth is so wonderful. This is where truth is so beautiful. And when we can take the time to recognize that we are of different functions, we become more appreciative of each other. We are able to love, appreciate, respect, honor the other, because by doing that, this is what we do to actualize self-full love. It's a demonstration of actualizing self-full love. The crimson light then comes alive from within us. We are able to smile. We are able to shine our light because, again, this is what, according to Christ's teachings, that we are meant to do. Shine on each other, shine the light, because we are all on this path of self-realization, self-respect, self-recognition, whatever it is, self-full love. It's self-full love. It's all about love. So hoping that you have found this, going to, of course, go further into this, just to not have these presentations too long. So I will, of course, carry on with this. But just to wrap up, in this foundation and all these words here, this nation, which I will go over on this part, this I here, 9, I will go over this. 9. We are also often taught, oh, it's the ego. And yes, it's the ego. But how about if we take the time to say, how can I use the word I or I? How can I use I to include the collective, to recognize the collective? So I thought we could always, when we say I, think of your third eye. Go in the spirit realm and see how I can really play. Unless I am playing with I. Okay. So yeah, I'll just perhaps quickly round this. Um so nation, we talked about the nation with the 14th generation nation. A nation needs have their perspective of their truth on what they um, abide by. And let's see. And yeah, perhaps I'll just finish this, conclude this presentation here for now, and have another part. So I'm hoping that you have found this useful. I'm hoping that you have found um, the numbers fun, and let's come alive. And so just look out for the other part of this presentation. Thank you. This is Crime a Queen on Actualizing Self-Full Love. This is where we come alive. This is where we ignite the crimson light. So be bright, be joyous, have fun. Thank you.